Are you looking for all the latest pro football news and content? Of course you are. Who doesn't love football? The question is, how do you get all the latest pro football news and content? There's so many different pro football podcasts on the internet. Which one do you choose? Which one is the right fit for you? Well, you go with the Across the Middle Show, one of the fastest growing football podcasts out right now. Over the past year, we've climbed the Spotify rankings and became a show you have to listen to if you're a football fan. Find out if the Ravens will go all the way with Odell Beckham Jr., find out if the Eagles did enough to make it back to the Super Bowl. You'll get all of our best stories for just $1 per month. All you have to do is sign up by clicking the link in the episode description box. All right, we have a great show for you guys today. I'm John Kuzma from the Across the Middle Show. We're going to talk a little bit about Jimmy Garoppolo. We're also going to talk about Travis Etienne. Let's start with Jimmy Garoppolo. The Raiders got rid of Derek Carr, and they got Jimmy Garoppolo to replace him. You know, we talked about in a past episode how Jimmy Garoppolo and Josh McDaniels have the Patriots connection going for them. They both spent time with Patriots. Jimmy Garoppolo is familiar with McDaniels' offense. So it's going to be good for Jimmy Garoppolo because he's already been in this offense before. He knows the terminology. He knows the plays. So there's less of a learning curve for him by going to the Raiders. He gets to pick up right where those two left off. Well, you know, with Derek Carr put up some good stats. He padded stats, I guess you can say. He was a good leader in the sense that he held that team together. But if there's one knock against Derek Carr, he didn't win that much. There wasn't a lot to show for all those years of him being the starting quarterback. And he kept getting contracts, and he never really produced anything with those contracts that he got. So we have to wonder whether or not Jimmy Garoppolo can be better than Derek Carr was for the Raiders. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner. The only problem with Jimmy Garoppolo is he has some durability issues. You know, he tends to get hurt often. That's the only strike against Jimmy Garoppolo. Other than that, though, Jimmy Garoppolo can play. He's a winner. He constantly steps up when his team needs him to. There's a reason he's been to a Super Bowl and went on another deep playoff run with the 49ers. Now, don't get me wrong. The 49ers have a lot of talent, or they had a lot of talent around Jimmy Garoppolo, but they weren't winning until Jimmy Garoppolo got there. Jimmy Garoppolo got to the 49ers, or went to the 49ers in a trade, and that's when the 49ers started winning. He actually uplifted that franchise to new heights. Then they started to build on the momentum that Jimmy Garoppolo basically brought to the 49ers. So can he be better than Derek Carr was for the Raiders? That's where we're at right now with the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. I think as long as he stays healthy, he can be. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner. I think he's a proven winner in the National Football League. There's no think about it. He is. I mean, it's solidified. The durability problems are a concern. Can he hold up? Can he stay healthy? That's the only knock against Jimmy Garoppolo. If he does play, though, you know that he's going to give the team something. You know he's a competitor. You know he learned a lot of things from sitting behind Tom Brady for all those years. That helped make him the player that he is today. He can deliver strikes with the football. He's cerebral. He's good at getting through his reads and his progressions and delivering the football with rhythm and timing wherever it has to go. As he got older, he started to lose a little bit on his deep ball, but still he does his best work over the middle of the field. I mean, he can chop teams up, very precise with the football. We'll see. You know, we'll see where he's at in terms of, you know, throwing the ball down the field. You never know. Maybe, you know, if he didn't have it going on with Brandon Ayuk, maybe that's why, you know, he wasn't throwing the ball down the field as well as he did in the past. You just never know. With Devontae Adams there, he's going to have some shots to go down the field. Devontae Adams can basically do anything on the football field. I think Jimmy Garoppolo and him should mesh well and be able to produce some big plays for the Raiders offense. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where the Raiders go from here. You get Jimmy Garoppolo in there, proven winner. Some people are saying it's a lateral move. I think in terms of winning games, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be better than Derek Carr. Derek Carr can put up stats, really hasn't won a lot. Yeah, he kind of held the team together for all those years, but it wasn't, it didn't result in playoff success. There wasn't really any deep playoff runs. It just wasn't enough from Derek Carr, whereas Jimmy Garoppolo went to a Super Bowl, went on another deep playoff run. We've just seen Jimmy Garoppolo have more success in terms of winning, which isn't surprising because he played for Bill Belichick for all those years. Think about all the success that the Patriots had. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo was there with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Some of those tendencies rubbed off on Jimmy Garoppolo and helped him become a winner himself. That's just what happens when you're around a bunch of winners. You pick up on some of the things they do. You see how they approach the game, and then you incorporate some of those things in your own game, I guess you can say. So that's where Jimmy Garoppolo is at. He's the Raiders quarterback. I'm excited to see. I hope he does better than Derek Carr. Derek Carr's a good dude. Jimmy Garoppolo is a little bit more wild. I think we know that from some of the things he did with the 49ers. It's still exciting to see Jimmy Garoppolo link back up with Josh McDaniels, and we'll see where they go from here. The other story we have is the Travis Etienne story. So if we look at Travis Etienne and what he did this past year, it reminded me a lot of Jamaal Charles. Remember Jamaal Charles from the Chiefs? Jamaal Charles was a really good running back for the Chiefs for a lot of years. And he almost reminds me of, or I guess you could say Travis Etienne almost reminds me of Jamaal Charles. Now, Jamaal Charles is big shoes to fill. You just don't show up and become Jamaal Charles. You have to build that over some time. So Travis Etienne has to put up, 9 or 10 solid years before he can really become a Jamaal Charles type of player. But the fact that he's even drawing a comparison to Jamaal Charles at this point is huge for Travis Etienne, because that's a lofty expectation for Travis Etienne, because Jamaal Charles just flat out dominated the National Football League for the Chiefs before Patrick Mahomes was there. So if Travis Etienne can be cut from the same cloth as Jamaal Charles, it's going to be huge for Travis Etienne, because that's how good Jamaal Charles was. Remember, Travis Etienne was the guy that lit it up for all those years at Clemson, played with Trevor Lawrence at Clemson. I'm excited to see what those guys are going to keep doing at the next level, because, they had a solid year that first year they were together this past year. Remember, Travis Etienne, his very first year, got hurt, missed the whole entire season. This past year, he comes back. What do you know? The Jaguars go on a playoff run. Not only that, look how much better Trevor Lawrence looked. I think those two carrying over what they did at Clemson to the Jaguars is good for both those guys. They spent a lot of time in the backfield together at Clemson. Now they're doing the same thing in the pros. So the Jaguars, smart decision there by the Jaguars to draft both those guys and bring them in together into the National Football League. Now Travis Etienne has to pick up right where he left off. He's got to be the same player he was this past year. A lot of deep runs, man. A lot of long runs on his highlight tape. I watched his film before I hopped on here. He was really breaking off a lot of long runs, just slashing through the defense, running through tackles, going the distance on long touchdown runs. They ran him inside a lot between the tackles. I was a little surprised by that, and he was chopping defenses up. The guy can flat out play. There's no denying that. He has a knack for hitting the open field, finding the open field, and hitting it with a lot of momentum, and then taking off on these defenses. There's something there. He's the same explosive player that we saw at Clemson. We saw it this past year, what he did this past year. He's got some really nice tape already in the NFL. So I believe Travis Etienne is going to be a really good player in the National Football League. I think he's already starting to establish himself. I think that's huge for the Jaguars. I think that's huge for Trevor Lawrence. They have some good things going for them. I mean, you look at the foundation they laid this past year, going on a playoff run, going from the worst team in football to a team that's a legitimate contender, getting Travis Etienne back, him breaking off big run after big run. Things are looking up for the Jaguars. Things are looking up for Trevor Lawrence. He stepped up this past year too. They have weapons all over the place, especially in that backfield with Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Jaguars' future. They took a big risk when they basically tanked to get Trevor Lawrence. They traded away all their best players, cut a bunch of good players, dismantled that defensive line they had. Well, now the Jaguars are back, and they weren't down for that long. Basically, a couple of years they were down for. Now they're back. It's exciting. It's an exciting time for the Jaguars. They look like they're going to be able to do something special in the near future here. Give all the credit in the world to Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. Those guys are doing the same things they did at Clemson. It's making the Jaguars exciting again. Really, that's all I got for this latest episode. I'm John Kuzma. If you guys want to sign up and become a member, it's $1 per month, for $12 per year. You guys can be a member of the Cross the Middle Show. Support our show and all the latest pro football news and content. You can get it here. We'll also send you guys some exclusive content if you sign up. It's only $1 a month. Go sign up. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.